The three images I've got here on the screen share something in common. It's the fact they've actually only been changed through one panel in Lightroom from their original camera raw state. So if you want to see how I create unique looks like this using just one Adobe Lightroom panel, stay with me. You've guessed it, it's the curves panel. It's insanely powerful, and if you can master the curves panel, you become the boss of your photos. So in this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through and just show you exactly how I use the curves panel. If you don't know anything about curves, don't worry, I'm going to break it down so it's super simple, super easy. I'm going to give you a few different techniques that you can use with the curves, and I'm also going to show you how to color grade using curves as well. So if you're game to see all that and see how you can create images like this just with that one adjustment through curves, let's dive right in. So on the left hand side here, we've got a point here which controls the blacks. So if I were to start bringing this up, we see we start to brighten the image from the black point up. Conversely, if we grab the other side, that's the white point, so we can darken it by bringing that down. In the middle of the curve, that is the distribution of all the luminosity values, how bright the bright parts through the image. So if I click on here and drag up, we're going to brighten the image because we're bringing all of those values up. If I click and bring it down, we're going to darken the whole image as well. So by putting points in different areas and manipulating the curve, we can actually control the look of our image, and we can do that on the sense of the luminosity itself, but then we can also dive in to the individual channels, and that's where we can actually create the color toning looks and the color grading to really give our image a finished look. So the first thing we're going to look at is what's called an S-curve, and that is brilliant for introducing contrast into your image. Not just contrast with the slider, but something that we can actually have more accurate control over, so we can really get in there and specific with the image. So to do that, we're going to add 3 points. Now what I recommend you do is actually hold the Alt key and click 1, 2, 3 points, equal distances, one on 25%, one at 50, and one at 75%, or there and thereabouts. And from there, we're going to bring down the bottom point, and that's going to darken the shadows. And at the moment, nothing's happened to the highlights, but what we can do is now bring that point up, and we've added an S-curve, and that has added contrast. So if we turn that off and on, you can see just how much pop that gives us. Now with a lot of images, adding some contrast just really helps bring the image to life. So that's a great technique. The second thing we can do with a curve is actually the opposite of the S-curve and do a reverse S, and that's actually going to reduce contrast. So let's have a look at that. Let's do the same again. Hold the Alt key and click 3 points. Why we hold the Alt key is so that we're not actually shifting the curve when we click these points. That constrains it to the exact position of the curve when we're putting the points on there. So if we'd already done something crazy with our curve like this and we want to add another point, if you click, you start moving the curve as soon as you've clicked, or you have the ability to do that, which might not be a good thing. So if you hold the Alt key, those points that you're adding, they're added to the current structure of the curve. Great thing to know. So the Alt key, great little tip. So we're going to add 3 points, and we're going to go the opposite way to what we did for the contrast S-curve. So this time, instead of going up with the highlights, we'll come down, and instead of down with the shadows, we're going to go up. And as you can see, if we look at the before and the after, this time we've actually reduced the contrast. And so we can really get specific and dial in exact amounts that we might want for our image. The third thing we can do with the tone curve is we can actually create what's called an M curve, and the concept behind an M curve is we're going to lift the shadows and lift the highlights. I personally don't use this too much because most of the time when I'm doing those kind of adjustments, that will actually be in the basic panel where I will use the shadow and the highlight sliders to control that. However, just to show you for thoroughness, we can do that here. So again, 1, 2, 3 points, holding the Alt key, and leave the midpoint where it is, and we're just going to boost the shadows, and we're going to boost the highlights. And this can really work well with some images, so bear it in mind and keep it in your toolbox. So let's look at the before and the after, and we've just brightened that up a wee bit. The fourth thing I'd like to show you with the tone curve is just a simple brightening or darkening. It's as simple as this. Just put a point right in the middle, and we're just going to boost that up, and we can brighten the image. It's as simple as that. It's a really nice way to brighten the image, knowing that the white point and the black point are not shifting in any way. The fifth thing I'd love to show you is something you're going to recognize, and I'm sure you're going to want to know about, and that's how to create a faded or vintage look. Now, this look has been popular for so long now, and the trend is just not dying out. So you need to put this one in your toolbox. Basically, we are going to bring up the blacks, because that's a big part of this look. Is you do not have a true black point anymore. Your black is an off black. Grey is the new black. So by bringing up this black point, we can actually say there are no more blacks in our image. So even if we were to bring the blacks way down through our basic panel, as soon as we come into our tone curve, we bring that up, and there still is no black. So you can create a crushed black look very easily using the tone curves. You can also do the same bringing the whites down. So for example, if we put our image onto a white background, which is representative of what you might see on, say, a website or Facebook, we can actually bring the whites down so it's not as in your face. And a lot of people like to push the blacks up, bring the whites down, but oftentimes that's not enough. That's not quite the look. So what do we do to bring it all together? Let's have a look at that now. I'm going to call this number 6. I'm not sure this is really a 6th thing, but this is more like bringing it all together. So let's do a bit of a combo. We're going to take the vintage look that we were kind of working towards but hadn't quite perfected, and combine that with what we've learnt with actually controlling the contrast with the S-curve. So let me show you what I mean with that. Let's say we want to bring our black point up. Let's be quite aggressive with that so that we really see what's going on. We're going to bring the black point up. We're going to shift the white down just ever so slightly. I don't like to do that too much, otherwise the image to me just starts to look too washed out. But now I'm going to put some control points on. So I'm going to hold the Alt key again, and I can put 3 points along this curve. From here, we're now going to create an S-curve. So we can bring this one down. We can bring this up. And now we've added contrast, yet still faded the image. And I just think this is a really, really beautiful look. Once we can combine that with our color grading, we're on our way to creating some really, really unique and beautiful images. So let's just have a really quick look at the before and after. Here is our original before image. Here's our after. If we feel like we might want to brighten it up just slightly, we can grab that midpoint and start to shift that up. If we feel like the whites or the highlights are peaking just a little bit too much, we can ease those off a little bit. And this is where the creativity really comes in. You might want to add an additional point and just really have those blacks kind of just crush out there. They call it crushing the blacks when you're doing things like that. I'm not really one for what the terminology is. I just know what I like to look at. That doesn't sound good. So let's say we're happy with that, and we can go look at a before and an after, before, after. If we put it back onto our black screen here, we can see before and after. And here you can really see, if you look down here where we've got the rocks meeting the black there, you can see that there just are no blacks anymore. Hey guys, I really hope this video is of help to you. If it is, I would love it if you would actually help me just by hitting the like button, or even the subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this. And if you do want to see more videos like this, let me know what, and I'll be happy to look at making something specifically for you. Thanks guys. And that's just a really nice look. If you combine that with adding a bit of grain through Lightroom, just gorgeous. But this is all just about tone curves. So let's dive into the next thing. The seventh thing we're going to look at here is color grading. Within the tone curve palette here, if we click on the RGB tab, that gives us access to our red, green and blue channels. From there we can actually control, in the same way we're controlling the overall luminosity, we can now actually control how much red, green and blue are in the image. So if I grab a point and just drag it up, you'll see I'm introducing red. We can go to the extreme, taking away red, or actually the better way that I like to think of it is actually introducing the opposite of red, which in computer color terminology is cyan. If we look at the green slider, we can introduce green or take it away, which is the same as adding magenta. And by doing that with blue, we can see we can add blue in, or we can take it away, which is the same as adding in yellow to the image. So a really quick and easy thing that I like to do with, for instance, the blue curve is to grab the top point and bring that down, and that is going to bring yellows into our highlights. I like to balance that, complement it by adding blues into the shadow, and if we turn that off and on, you can see not only have we added contrast to our image, faded the image, but now we've also added a color tone. So it's that simple, just using the tone curve. I've done nothing more than pull this down, shift that up, and add this tone curve, which is starting to look a little more complicated, but basically that's just an S curve with the tail end pushed up. That's all it is. So I've opened up another image of Sammy here, and this image actually has some inherent problems that we can fix with the tone curve. So let's take a look at exactly what we could do with that. First of all, let me point out the issue, which you can probably tell. This image is washed out, which may say that's absolutely fine. It's heading towards that kind of vintage washed out look that we gave this image anyway. However, if you wanted to be accurate about it, what we can do is actually just clip or bring the black point over to meet the bottom of the histogram. Where data starts on the histogram, we just bring that black point over, and now we've got a true black point on the image. We can check whether or not we've got a true black point by putting this little warning mark up here, and as we push over into blacks, it just floods it with blue where you are actually creating a pure black. So I'm happy with that point there, just starting to hit black. From there, we've got our options where we could create the S curve for contrast, a reverse S curve to reduce contrast, or an M curve. So if I put 3 points into our curve, we could look at raising the highlights, so we're getting a little bit more boost into Sammy's skin. Beautiful. We could even just lift those midpoints. I'm really liking that. I just want to brighten that whole image. I feel that's quite nice. Something like that. And we then need to make that decision. Do we want to bring the shadows down, or do we actually want to introduce more detail to the shadows? In this case, I quite like a little bit of detail in the shadows. And just so we're headed the same direction of the other image we're working on, what I might do is actually just bring these blacks up, just have the black point come up, and we'll forget about that whole clipping idea. We'll just go for that more vintage look. And now we've shifted those up, I feel like we can boost up the midtones even more. Let's see what it looks like on a white background. Yeah, that's looking really nice. Let's see if we can even let's take those highlights even brighter, really make those sing. Now the other thing we can do, see how around the bottom of the dress that's getting really quite bright now. I kind of feel like we're losing a bit of saturation, it's going a little too bright. What we can do is actually bring the top of the curve down just to protect those. So if I flatten that curve out, you can see if we push it up, the dress is bleaching out there. Bring it down, it just starts to protect the color toning there on the dress and the luminance of the dress. And I quite like that. That's beautiful. So if we look at our before, a very flat, washed out image, sun flare coming into the lens, not much contrast. We've increased our contrast while still getting that beautiful crushed black look, which isn't as extreme as what we did on the other image, but I really like that. From there, if we wanted to add some color toning, we could. So let's see here. Let's add some red and see what that looks like. So we can just boost the reds a little bit. What if we bring the shadows? Oh yeah, okay. By putting S-curves into the colors, you're actually keeping complementary colors, because obviously the red and cyan are complementary colors. You push up into the red with one. If you pull down with the other control point, you're introducing cyan into the shadows. So that's quite a nice look there. Let's call that done. Before, after, before and after. So as you can see, guys, curves are a really powerful tool, well worth learning. So the principles that I've taught you today, it's super simple, right? You've got your S-curve to add contrast. You can bring the shadow point, the black point up, so you can get more crushed, vintage, faded kind of look. And then you can dial into the RGB, the red, green and blue channels, and have a little tweak around with those just to get some really nice color toning looks. I think part of the key is don't go to the extreme. Subtlety wins. But I really hope you've learned something from this video. If you have, let me know what was the most interesting thing to you, what was most beneficial to you, and if I have helped you, I'd love it if you'd help me just by hitting that like button. Hit me with a subscribe, that would be awesome, and leave me a comment below. So thank you very much, guys. I appreciate your time, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.